या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। પૂજ્ય માં ભગવતી, પૂજ્ય શ્રી અરવિંદ, you all present here are chosen children of our Divine Mother. The very scenario of human life is apparently a very tragic scenario, where our mind is being drawn by the forces of the circumstances around us to take the cognizance of disorder, disturbance, distraction, and the consequent depression on mind itself. And that is the play of the mind. It is not the adverse force of the circumstances that starts working. So the objective reality and the subjective reality are so interacted, are made so interacted, that our mind gets the flow of evolving push. We are evolving. Every birth we are evolving. Every second we are evolving. But it's such a minute force of evolution that we cannot feel a difference and the distinction between our past and the present. But it is continuously going on. The process of evolution is continuously going on, and that is taken into account by Sri Aurobindo also. It is not that Darwin presented the theory of evolution and ultimately world was tremendously impacted by it. But Sri Aurobindo felt it throughout his sadhana, throughout his life, and throughout the hardship he had undergone in UK. So the entire scenario before Sri Aurobindo started determined sadhana in Pondicherry. He felt, he noted down, he got it projected in his Savitri, and in evening talks he connected his own inner reality, his own inner ups and downs, his own inner reflection, reaction and interaction with the circumstances around him in terms of the scenario of the entire world. And as I told you in our last episode, the scenario of the world is impacting upon him, but his inner reality, his inner wisdom, his inner determinism, his inner vision started impacting upon the world much more effectively then he was affected by the world scenario. That is the reality. And that ultimately trained his mind in such a way that his mind in this birth got a powerful turning point and powerful vertical velocity during the course of his sadhana, and that is why he could accomplish the assignment given to Sri Aurobindo in the jail in this one birth. And with guaranteed assurance, he has given us the master clue without description, without explanation, without anything, well explained as human mind can understand to the mother even. What mother had undergone throughout this sadhana after 1950 to 73 was not explained to her even by Sri Aurobindo. And that was the reason why mother also with her human mind got confused many a times, and she expressed before Satprem, I could not get it, I could not get it, I could not get it. But still that connectivity is automatically established, and as and when she felt a tremendous bewilderment, Sri Aurobindo in his supramental body appeared before mother. So that is the play of mind and the play of the world. So whatever occurs, whatever happens, whatever takes place externally, and our mind tries to penetrate into it, and mind allows all other forces outside to enter into one's own mental consciousness, that ultimately fabricates the mentality. So this is the mind. We can feel it, we can assess it, we can weigh it, we can judge it with our mental receptivity. How much powerful mind it is, much more clearly it can receive. It is the power of mentality that becomes our receptivity. But power of mentality in most of the years of our life, unless we get this turning point which mother felt in 58, we get negativity from the world outside. We never get positivity from the world outside. It is the slightest crack in this onion skin which ultimately gets the forces positive outside to penetrate into our mind, and with a view to penetrate up to the psychic. And there it is that force externally can establish just for a moment a link between our psychic and our mind. And it is the force of our psychic, it is the destiny of our psychic in present birth that can change our mind. With efforts we cannot change our mind. With goodwill and good wishes, compliments of other people, other persons, other relatives, including father and mother, including parents, we cannot change our mind. Mind is such a hard nut to crack, but it is a powerful solution too. It is a powerful solution. If we can understand our mind, then 50% of our sadhana of this birth is automatically completed. But it cannot be so powerfully controlled and regulated, because it presents stability, it presents velocity, it presents multi-dimensional forces working together, visibly and invisibly. So that mind has to be overturn in such a way that there can be a powerful, continuous tuning between psychic and the mind. That is why that human birth is given to us. Our psychic is also powerful, and correspondingly our mind is also equally powerful. If connectivity we can find it out, it is the turning point of our life. Tulsidas found it, Raskhan found it, Mirabai found it, Ganga Sati found it, Virgin Mary found it, Muhammad Sahib found it. So many literate and illiterate personalities. Galileo found it, Archimedes found it, Aristotle found it. It is the jerk given to the mind, that mind gets velocity and stability together, from where it cannot come back. It cannot come back. It cannot sleep into its own room once again. It cannot sleep down into its own dead habits once again. And if it is given, that is the tremendously powerful blessings in this birth, provided we are eligible for it. So our own eligibility is our own sadhana. Our own eligibility is our penance. Our own eligibility is the spark of reality in the scenario of this relativity. And that spark of reality ultimately makes and offers the clue to our mind to get inner connectivity, inner relativity and reality together, keeping our own psychic in the center. That will result into the very first surrender of our mind to our psychic. The training of the cells. And at that time, it is our psychic that remains to be in the center, giving its own innumerable radiuses to the cells moving around it. The cells of the body try to change its own pattern, and when inner geometry, where our cells are just in a particular design, just like a kaleidoscope. If jerk is given to the kaleidoscope and design automatically changes, there is no design inside in reality. There is no design inside in reality. It is just a smallest heap of the pieces of the glass. Nothing else. But still it appears to be designed. Still it appears to be worth seeing. Still it appears to be beautiful. Left to itself, a world is beautiful, but it's so masterly beautiful that it is our incompetence to get and to offer perfect reciprocation to it. We feel that it is tragedy, it is plight, it is unhappiness. It's not anand. It's not anand. But if we can give jerk, a slightest jerk to our mind, design automatically changes. And the design that is palatable to our psychic in this birth, if it is in tune, matches properly, then it becomes our turning point. I think you must have caught my point. That is what Mother wants to say, that the cells are to be trained. Our cells are to be shared. Cells are not seen. They are not visible. Mind is also not visible and cells are also not visible. Subject is not visible. Object is also not visible. And still we are to change the design. That is the problem. And that becomes tragedy. Our incompetent mind tries to offer and tries to solve this problem of unknowability. Unknowability is there and we try to change that problem. What is unknown is to be made known. What is unknown is to be made knowable. What is unknowable is further to be made knowable. That is the problem. And that is why we are all the while mongering and hankering after information. What is going on externally, what is going on in the outside world, what is going on in others' reality. We are much more interested in what is going on within our own reality. That is the dead habits of the mind. It is the, simply speaking, it is the wrong habit of our mind. And if mind is made to get rid of all such web of the wrong habits, now it requires training to be given to the mind with the coordination of our mind and psychic. Then cells can be trained. Our human cells can be trained, and that changing process should be undisturbed, should be undisturbing process. It should continuously go on. Then we can change our matter. When we can change physicality. When we can change our hard, concrete, just perishable matter. It appears to be perishable to us, but it can be changed if cells are properly, adequately, on the spur of the time changed. As a matter of fact, mother did find it very hard not to disintegrate into the cosmos. Mother is getting disintegration within her body. She is aging. She is aging. At the age of 82, she has started feeling the common human impact of aging. And she can focus it. Her aging is microscopic aging. But she is feeling macroscopic aging too. She is now world mother. She is not only mother of our ashram. She is getting all impacts, all forces, all communic messages from the entire world around her. And she tries constantly to get her mind automatically ascending, as Sri Aurobindo might have ascended his mind and reached the level of an overman when he might have received supramental and got it established in his body. That was transmitted to her as mind of light. Now, mind of light is to be brought down and down and down to the level of mother's individual cells, her individual sadhana, and her individual sadhana as individual human being and as world mother for the entire world. Both these dimensions are to be operated in such a way that none should be disturbed with any external hostile force during the time of Second World War and even thereafter. So her cells are to be so trained up that this is the scenario you are going to face in nearest future. In 62 she felt this and Sri Aurobindo assured her. In 70 also she felt it and Sri Aurobindo assured her. And after Satprem was prevented from entering into the mother's room, Satprem admits that this time Sri Aurobindo was constantly present in his supramental body with mother in order to get mother's body completely transformed into a supramentalized framework. It is not the pattern of the mother's body is being constantly changed. It is the pattern of the entire cosmos was also simultaneously changed. And with the result, the impact of Kalki is likely to be ended. And a new dawn is to be made possible for humanity. So you can just imagine what a greater magnitude that is being offered by Lord Krishna to Sri Aurobindo first and now mother to give birth, new birth to the new time and new age. But it's very difficult with this body. It is very difficult with this body. Body that is aging is very difficult to handle both the scenarios, scenario of the inner reality and scenario of the external reality, scenario of the subjective reality and scenario of the objective reality. The golden bridge is to be erected, golden bridge is to be constructed, and mother is required, inevitably required, to be the architect of immortality, the very first architect of immortality. If her body is changed, then the entire cosmos can be changed. If one body can be changed, the entire humanity can be changed. If one destiny can be changed, the entire destiny of time is to be converted into timeless. Mind is to be converted into mindless. And body is to be converted into divine matter. So all can be done, but if the nucleus as such, with the stuff of her own cells, can be formulated. That is her issue. Very difficult to maintain its cohesion, and very difficult to maintain its cohesion, simply speaking, its continuity, its permanency. Permanently that process should continue within the body of the mother, irrespective of jerks and jolts from the outside worlds. And that is why mother pointed out that the people who are serving me, people who are around me, they also offer me food, offer me water, offer me medicine. They are all hurdles to me. They are all hurdles to me. It is not that I don't like to eat, I don't like to drink, but my cells are revolting against it. They are getting tonic, they are getting energy, they are getting tremendously blissful energy direct from the supramental. So why to obstruct it, this force? Why to obstruct this continuity? Why to obstruct this inner stability? And that inner stability, if disturbed, now she is experiencing an indescribable plight, indescribable harassment, indescribable psychological injury, which is felt by her mind also. To prevent its dissolution into surrounding matter, to prevent its dissolution, its, not her dissolution, its dissolution. The mortality of humanity is to be dissolved. The mortality and mortal forces of humanity are to be dissolved, and immortality, the psychicization, through her own psychicization, the psychicization, orbit of the psychicization has to be expanded all over the cosmos. It's very difficult. The record of Satprem writes, the record of mother's succession of fainting spells whenever she got out of the web of the physical mind. When she gets out of the web of his physical mind. Now, two types of physical minds are simultaneously presented by Satprem as he understood. One physical mind is there in its pure state, lying in the shell, and one physical mind, that is what we feel as our corporal mind. So corporeal mind and the physical pure mind in the shells are so intermingled many a times that mother finds it's very difficult to get them separate and to re-establish the supremacy of the cellular physical mind over the so-called physical mind, that is our corporeal mind. If that supremacy is established, command is to be changed. That is what the word here it is written. Command of what? Command of mind to all physical being, vital being and mental being has to be changed into the command of psychic. Mind should be made inoperative. And which mind is to be made operative? Our corporeal mind. That the corporeal mind of the mother as human being is to be made inoperative. And the physical mind, pure, perfect and immortal, that is in shell, is to be so merged with the psychic that psychic starts commanding and controlling the totality of the human pattern of the mother as individual. The record of mother's succession of fainting spells, and many a times when that order is disturbed, and once mother tries to re-establish that order, mother feels that as if she is fainting. Constantly she is fainting. She loses her consciousness. She falls down and she wants someone's support. But Satprem was not allowed to witness these particular gestures of the last facet of mother's life. So he could not record. But the glimpses he might have seen during his last period in company of the mother's process that was going on, written in 13th agenda. Satprem tries to get the connectivity to explain to the world outside like us. And this is after 13 agenda were recorded, Satprem wrote this book, Mind of the Cells. The physical mind is highly instructive, if only to prove negativity, the controlling, coordinating and imprisoning power of the physical mind. It took mother 5 years from 1962 to 1967 to understand the mechanism. That mechanism, what are the jolts, jerks and content of the receptivity. Mother felt between 62 to 67, that Satprem was witness to this, tries to judge, tries to estimate, tries to realize the scenario of mother's last days, when mother got her supramental body completely stabilized within her body but was not allowed to see it finally. Otherwise it could have been, that is what Satprem also felt, his incompetence, because circumstances were such that he could not witness the very, very profoundly decisive scenario of mother's internal reality. Mother says, it began when the doctors declared. It began when the doctors declared. That is what in advance mother declared. Mother assigned to Satprem. Doctors declared that I was very ill because the body was then completely emptied of its habits and energies. I could not take one step without fainting. As soon as I stood up to walk a little, I tried to walk little. This time will come. This is said in 62. And what happens in 71, 72 and 73? Walk a little, wham, down I went. I may fall down on the ground. I had to be held up constantly, but I did not lose consciousness for 1 minute. Take it for granted. Time will come. I would not lose my consciousness for a single minute. Doesn't matter. It will appear for the people who are around me that I am unconscious. I am in coma. And that was the state Sri Aurobindo also had undergone on 5th of December. But I did not lose consciousness for one. I would faint. Mother says that I would faint. See, past tense is also used and future tense is also used simultaneously in order to connote the real scenario which is yet to take place. Has not happened to her cells, to her body, to her mind by the forces outside who were there in the name of service moving around the mother's body. But I did not lose consciousness for one. I would faint, but I was conscious. I saw my body. Mother says, I saw my body. With what eyes? With which eyes? At what stage? My supramental body is emerging out of my mortal body. And it is my supramental body that can see my old body. It was not my hypothesis, but it was my hypothesis. Now I see it as reality. The objective reality is so concrete for me, which was once upon a time my subjective hypothesis. I could feel that my new body is being fabricated, my new body is being formulated, my new body is being created within my body. This is the divine motherhood. Divine motherhood. This is the formulation of the body of Savitri. She is the symbol of motherhood. Ashwapati's wife is symbol of womanhood. And Savitri, the symbol of motherhood. That motherhood, universal motherhood of Savitri is being formulated in concrete and wonderful matters within the body. That is the very first supramental body just formulated on the earth, where mortality is prevalent, immortality is being formulated. Sri Aurobindo formulated her supramental body and presented before Mother there in the supramental world. Mother formulated her supramental body in this mortal world. In this mortal world. This is the difference. I saw my body. I knew I had fainted. But at that time I knew that I am fainted. I am not in my usual consciousness. But still, in that stage also, I saw my body. And clear-cut explanation, I saw my new body. I didn't lose consciousness and my body didn't lose consciousness. My body, this body also didn't lose consciousness, and my new body that is emerging also did not lose consciousness. Well, now I understand. At the beginning I didn't understand. Now I understand. In the beginning I didn't understand. Satprem did not understand what is going on. Satprem did not understand. What Sri Aurobindo had said, the physical mind is good for nothing. The physical mind is good for nothing. That is what Sri Aurobindo said. Mother acknowledges it. Which physical mind? That corporeal mind. Our mind, the base of our mind, the base of our this mind is physical mind, desire mind, and reasoning mind. These three layers are there of our ordinary mind that is below mental consciousness. That is below mental consciousness, accessible to human being after millenniums. Yet millenniums are to be spent to reach this state of a normal mind which makes man human being, which makes the animalhood of the human being into genuine human being. Sri Aurobindo had said the physical mind is good for nothing. The only way is to get rid of it. The only way is to get rid of the clutches and captivization of this mind, of the three layers: physical mind, desire mind, and reasoning mind. That is corporeal mind, de jure mind. De facto physical mind is lying in the cell, and it is the de facto physical mind lying in the cell is the master key to make this mind free from all these negative clutches. Closely tied to the amalgam of the physical body and its present form, that whenever I tried and a deeper consciousness, that of the other state, sought to manifest, it caused me to faint. It is because of this tussle constantly going on between this physical mind, that my de jure physical mind and my de facto physical mind that is creating my new body within my body, that tussle is constantly going on in me, and that ultimately mandatorily causes me fainting. That causes me fainting. Mind loses the control over body. And when mind loses the control over body, it is unconscious body. It makes body unconscious. It makes body derailed from its regular, from its genuine track of living. That of the other state, sought to manifest, it caused me to faint. In other words, uniting or merging with the other state, uniting or merging with my new body, other state, without that physical mind, without that corporeal mind, which state mothers, the state which Sri Aurobindo dictates in Savitri as mindless space. It is the mindless space. Godhead seed might flower in the mindless space. Godhead seed starts taking control over mind and over physical mind there hidden in the cells too at a time on the very same moment. Uniting or merging with the other state without that physical mind, it was cancelled out, caused fainting. It is the physical mind of the shell that can cancel the misoperation, the misdeeds, the misimages, the pseudo images, the pseudo velocity, the pseudo reality, fake reality created by mind. To eradicate all these things, it is the physical mind that has to be given command, that has to be given power, that has to be established as center to regulate my entire body. That type of body is being formulated within my this corporeal mind did not understand, but my body also at that time feels fainting, but it's not fainting. It is the new consciousness that is being brought down on my body through my cells. Faint. I didn't know what to do, mother says. I didn't know what to do. We are blessed that we have been granted this boon, that without undergoing any plight as such, we are automatically growing up. Our cells are automatically growing into positive portals. Our cells are automatically going to that particular level. Their portals working together, forming together our cellular process of our cellular transformation. And this is the boon and this is the guarantee that has been given to us, that without doing anything as such what mother did in between 62 to 73, we are made to experience without getting it registered with our corporeal mind. Our corporeal mind might be moving in between physical mind, vital mind, mind of desire, and that is reasoning mind. Reason, scholarship, intellect, logic, how far we are competent and capable, we cannot understand this flight because it is the fainting and consciousness coexisting together. It is the unconsciousness and super consciousness living together. It is the super consciousness and unconsciousness that is being operated by our corporeal mind, and the design it creates is beyond our intellect. But it is automatically taking shape in our portals which are in this birth, while remembering, recollecting simple memory of mother's image in our mind can be operated this way as mother operated her physical mind at psychic level, and her corporeal mind, de jure physical and de facto physical mind, both the minds are to be so simultaneously operated in order to change the power, in order to transfer the power. Power of our corporeal mind is to be transferred to the power of the physical mind to create new body, that is supramental body within this mortal body. Their mortality is to be curbed down, and supramental immortality is to be established at cellular level, at physical level, at vital level, and at mental level together. This is the programming which is beyond our understanding. It is only her grace we have to accept and to offer our mind to mother. As mother changed her mind this way, we are also to be changed accordingly, without entering and without going into any plight whatsoever.